Couples Court with the Cutlers.
This is the case of Braxton versus Braxton. You all have been together for 4 years, married for 3,
yes,
and you have 2 daughters together.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Braxton, why have you brought your wife to court today?
I'm here to see if my wife cheated with her ex-boyfriend. That's why I'm here today. My family means a lot to me, and got a cloud hanging over our family right now, and I just want to get past it. And I'm a man that stands on principles, so I don't want to be a statistic as far as a divorcee, and I got daughters, so I want them to see a solid man.
Braxton, what are you here to prove?
I'm here to prove that I've been faithful to my husband. I know that some actions that I might have taken might have been wrong, but as far as any infidelity or anything like that, I've only been with my husband. And I want to let him know so that we can get the trust back and move forward and just take care of our family and be happy.
So what is the current status of your relationship? Are you all together? What does it look like in your home?
It's definitely gotten rocky because, you know, we're real solid family. We have, you know, schedules and different things like that. Now it's more like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I got stuff in the car, trunk, brother's house, couch, wherever.
And that's not what I got married for. I want my husband home. I want him to sleep with me and not downstairs. That's why we're married, is to be together.
All right, so Mr. Braxton, you essentially have got 1 foot already out the door, and it's all because you believe she's cheating.
In so many words, Your Honor, yes.
All right, so if it turns out that she is cheating, you're gone.
The consequences is gonna be devastating.
And you understand what is at risk?
Yes, if my husband was to leave me, I would have to learn what it's like to become a single mother. That's something I know nothing of. Our family would be devastated financially. I do work part-time, but he's the primary breadwinner in our home, and I can't afford to lose him.
So the stakes are high?
Very high. Really, we're at home together, but we're not dealing with each other.
It feels like we're going through the motions sometimes. You know,
Where are you sleeping?
Sometimes on the couch, sometimes at my brother's crib. I mean, she doesn't even know this, but I've slept in the car before just because.
Okay, so you want him back in your bed?
Yes, I do.
Moreover, she wants her husband. She don't want a roommate, she wants her husband.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you want your wife.
Of course, yes.
So what I'm hearing from both of you, you want it to be like it was in the beginning.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me what that was like.
Very in love, very attracted to one another. He's very caring and attentive. When he and I met, we met at mutual friends, and when I saw him, I was very attracted to him, and I noticed him looking at me, and we just kind of locked eyes for a minute. It was just like everything froze.
I felt like I was on the hunt, and I, you know, I had to get it. You know what I mean? I can't explain it. It's like
you saw
like
what you wanted, and you
seeing a deer. You know what I mean? I wanted her. You know what I mean? I wanted her. I know what I wanted for my life. So.
He pays attention to everything. Wants to know if I've ate, you know, wants to know how I'm doing. He's very intellectual, and that really turned me on and was the best thing about him.
Is what's going on up here that's sexy?
Absolutely.
I got you.
Hey, but don't get it wrong now. I put it down to make sure I keep my room.
Oh, my goodness.
There's more than just words, but that's what separated her from the rest. You know what I mean?
Okay, conversation's great. You know, being a gentleman is great, being attentive is great, but there's another component. There's another component to it also.
And you can't lose that component.
You're right.
That has to be there, and so that's why, I mean, that's part of the reason why I want to make sure we stay together, because we just complement each other very well, and we're life partners, and he's my teammate, and I just want to make sure we're in good standing.
All right.
Well, so where did it go wrong?
Yeah.
You know, we got in a fight a while back, and it was really, really bad. You know, it's probably the worst fight we've ever had as a couple. You know, was some issue over the kids, basically, you know. And she wanted to go somewhere, and I wasn't feeling it. I was trying to keep my kids together. I have one other child.
Well, Your Honor, the thing is that I wanted to take my daughter with me, and I was pregnant at the time. And when he didn't want me to take her with me, and he had her, and he left the house, and I wasn't able to find them. And, you know, I just felt like my motherhood was being attacked. I felt like, why aren't you giving me our baby? that's when it blew up. To the point, Your Honor, where when I left to go to the party for my family member to go away to the military, I stayed at my grandmother's house for a week. It was so much of a blow up that I didn't think we were going to even reconcile. I thought that it was gonna be over.
So this is a big argument you all had?
Yes, Your Honor. During the argument, things were so heated and everything like that, that I ended up mouthing off to authorities because of anger and ended up in handcuffs.
And that's not her. So I won't let her just go out like that. That's not her. She ain't like that, but I knew it was because she was pregnant. Just to be 100, she was acting differently than she normally does.
So in your mind, this was not a relationship-ending argument?
No.
And ultimately, you got through it and you got back together?
Right, and I'm thinking we on the up and up, like, okay, that's behind us. But something just keep tugging at me. I'm like, man, you was gone, you in your hometown, I'm not there, you was angry at me. You got something you need to tell me, like, now's the time, we're not mad at each other, we're not gonna run out of here, we're not gonna do nothing.
Right.
So she confided in me and told me that she, through social media, hit her ex up through Facebook, got a phone number, called him, says he brought her an apple pie or something like that, and they chilled. She was pregnant, so that ain't too far, you know what I'm saying? So, and then she says they just kicked it in his vehicle at her grandmother's house, and I'm like, what?
You use social media to catch up with your ex?
Yes, I did at that point in time. I sent a message to him because of the argument, and I asked him for his number and told him that I just wanted to talk, and he came and brought me my craving, my apple pie at the time, and we just talked.
This was during the time you all had the big argument?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're at your grandmother?
The time that you believed your marriage was basically over?
Yes.
And you hit up your ex on Facebook, and you went to him to confide in him, to talk to him?
Yes, that is true, Your Honor.
Were you talking to him about your marriage?
I was talking to him about the things that we were going through. Yes, I was.
So I feel like, do I not have her heart? You know what I mean? Then I mean, Your Honor, I feel like I put it down in every aspect. You know, that makes me feel like, okay, am I inadequate in some way or something? Like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? I seen the cat, and I'm like, for real?
Okay, so wait, hold on. How long after this did you find out that this interaction took place?
Like maybe 5 months afterwards or 4 months or so. I'm not sure, but it was a while ago. So that's what I'm saying. It was like revisiting, like everything flashed forward. Because when she initially told me and confessed it, I swallowed it. I kept my cool because, Your Honor, I want my wife to be able to come to me even when she mess up. Just come and let's see if we can get past it. Give me that opportunity, that choice to see if I want to stay or not. But don't have me living no lie.
Why would you wait 5 months to tell him
Your
that?
Honor, I was afraid of the way that he would react in losing my family. I was afraid that he would leave me right then. See, when I done this, yes, it was wrong, but I was acting out of anger. I was upset. And just to be honest with you, Your Honors, it's just, I've been with him and been faithful, and I felt attacked with my character and all kind of things. And I just felt if I talked to somebody else, maybe I can feel like I still had it. You know, I mean, just to be honest, I know that sounds crazy, but that's the reason why I've done it.
Wow. So have you been in communication with your ex since?
No, Your Honor, not in any way, shape, or form.
So was this the only time during that week that you saw the ex?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you visiting with him because you wanted to bounce off of him, or was he your backup plan?
I just, like you said, as you put it, wanted to bounce off of him.
Okay. Do you believe that, Mr. Braxton?
I don't know what to believe. That's what the whole problem is. Like, I want to. Interaction, talking in the car sound way better than sex. You know what I'm saying?
And you think there was sex?
I think it's a possibility. And I'm wondering, like, you know, what other avenues of communications is being done or dealt with. Look where my mind was at and her mind was at in the same argument. I'm at home not even thinking about, like, I didn't have no, like...
I mean, but during the argument, like, things during the argument, you talk real strong. You say a whole lot of stuff that maybe you might not mean, and you hurt me when you were saying all of those things. You made me feel disrespected, and I didn't appreciate it. I felt like, well, why am I going through this if he thinks all of these things about me? Like, I'm still a woman. I think I still look good. I think I still have qualities that other people would want. I have things to offer. I still got it, and I wanted to feel that.
And so you waited 6 months, 5 or 6 months to tell him that. All this time, for a year? It's been spinning in his head. What else isn't she telling me? If you had come home, you tell me if I'm wrong, Mr. Braxton. If she had come home and said, look, I was angry. I was so angry, I reached out to another man to find out, am I wrong? You wouldn't have liked it, but you would have felt differently because she came straight to you with the truth.
Exactly. That would have showed that loyalty that I wanted next to me, and I could have just wrapped that up and moved on because I wasn't going to beat her over the head with it.
Well, here's the deal. We have invited a friend of the court to come and talk to us about what it's like to deal with a partner or spouse when there are questions of infidelity. We would like to invite Trina Braxton to come and share with us. Ron, would you escort her into the court?
Yes, Your Honor. All right, come on in. Okay, we're gonna sit right up next to the judges, please.
Hello, Your Honors.
Hello.
Hi, how are
you?
Great.
It is good to see you.
Likewise. There's no relation.
Yeah,
we were going to clarify that.
We'll clarify.
We don't know that.
So good to see you. Thank you for
Likewise.
taking time out of your busy schedule from your TV show.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you're here because we need for you to help and share some things with them from your perspective.
Okay. I have some experience.
We know,
with
we
this.
know.
I have two husbands. One of the first things I'm going to say is this. If your spouse or your significant other is doing something that you don't want them to do, or if they're doing something that you wouldn't want done to yourself, that's cheating. Just period. It just is. Because you have to put yourself in that other position. The argument that you guys had that led up to this situation, she felt like the words that you said hurt her in such a way to where she felt like she still had to feel like she was wanted in a way. So it had absolutely nothing to do with your prowess, but it had to do with the way you spoke with her. And you can't be so busy putting it down by being busy putting her down. You can't do that. It's not gonna work. But at the same time, communication is key. If you're gonna let it go, let it go. But if you're not going to, let them go, because it's not worth it. It's just not, because it's gonna be a constant circle of overly rehashing again and again and again, and nothing is gonna be ever resolved because you're gonna keep reliving it.
All right, so is there anything that you've done in a relationship that later you kind of regretted and thought, you know, maybe I shouldn't have done that?
I mean, that's with everyone, but let me tell you one thing about regret. Regret is moot, but so is pride. Pride is an emotion a person in love cannot afford. You gotta put it behind you. You really, really do.
Well, Ms. Braxton, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us. This was the kind of information we wanted to hear.
Yes.
And I think our litigants need to hear so that they can make good choices about this passionate love that they clearly have for each other.
It resonates. It resonates. You guys are both still in love with each other. You have to be in love or let it go. Pick one. Can't have both.
This is a marriage on the line. You've accused her of cheating with an ex-boyfriend. She's denied that she had any kind of sexual contact with her ex-boyfriend. And so to get to the bottom of this, the court has retained the services of a licensed private investigator, Kendall Shull, who is a former special agent with the FBI. Ron, would you please show Mr. Shull into the courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor. I have to stand right over the
How are you, Mr. Shull? It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Very much, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Shull, would you please tell the court what type of examination you performed in this case?
In this particular polygraph, I use what we call a single theme polygraph examination. Even though we asked 3 different questions on the polygraph exam, all those 3 questions are focused on one specific area or concern.
So you asked Mrs. Braxton these 3 questions. 1, the week you left your husband, did you have sex with your ex-boyfriend? 2, since being married to your husband, have you had sexual intercourse with your ex-boyfriend? 3, the day when your ex-boyfriend brought you an apple pie, did you have sexual intercourse with him? What was her response to these questions?
Mrs. Braxton's responses to all 3 of those questions was no.
What did the polygraph determine based on her responses?
Polygraph determined.
All right, Mr. Shull, what did the polygraph determine based on her responses?
Polygraph determined that there were equally significant responses to all the questions that I asked, all responding no. And in addition, there were no fluctuations in her responses at all.
Right. So what does that tell you about her responses? Was she being truthful?
She was being truthful.
I'm sorry about that.
All right, Mr. Braxton, how you feeling?
I got a lot of making up to do.
All right. Mr. Cutler can give you some tips about how to make it right. Mrs. Braxton, let me just say I'm so glad that you were telling the truth.
Me too.
Thank you.
We plan to be at your 25th wedding anniversary, so I want to invite.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Braxton, keep putting it down. Keep putting it down.
And wait a minute.
In all respects. In all respects.
In all respects.
In all
That's all I was
respects.
trying to say.
Keep putting it down.
And with that, I'm gonna end this way. Don't cheat yourself out of the wonderful marriage you're getting ready to have. Court is adjourned.